Kylie Jenner is probably going to have a difficult time getting to sleep after law enforcement officials recently said that an obsessed fan was planning on breaking into her home to propose to her. Although there was just one problem, he wasn't at the right home. I mean, she was just hanging out and almost got a surprise marriage proposal, but this fan missed the mark and police were able to intervene before he was able to realize this. On Thursday, the police got a report that the man had hopped a fence and knocked on a door looking for Kylie, only to realize that he was actually at her neighbor's home, which foiled his plans immediately. Police ended up speaking to the 23-year-old man who was carrying a bouquet of flowers, and without hesitation, he told them that he was there to profess his love for Kylie Jenner and then ask for her hand in marriage. Which, I mean, it sounds like he really thought this one through, but maybe next time he should probably check to see if the other person feels this way as well. Although the police were not going to take any chances just letting this guy go, even if he was only armed with flowers. They ended up arresting him for misdemeanor trespassing, and so he was brought into the station for booking. What's wild is that back in October, another fan is said to have actually set off fireworks near Kylie's home as well. Around 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, some man was reportedly buzzing her security button asking for Kylie, and then after security told him to leave the property, he initially did, but then he returned again shortly after, which is when he began setting off fireworks outside of the home and then actually jumping over her fence. However, police would arrive and stop this man before he was able to get past her security barricades. And according to inside sources, they claimed that this intruder kept grabbing for his pockets as if he was trying to show them that he had a weapon or something. Luckily, during the time of this incident, Kylie was not home. As per TMZ, the suspect was about 6'4" and 240 pounds, and he was said to have been carrying a hammer, rubber mallet, a lighter, and fireworks. And because of him setting off these fireworks right in front of her home, he apparently did about $1,200 in damage to Kylie Jenner's security gates, which meant that when the police came in to charge him, he was charged with felony vandalism and would be held on $20,000 bail. At this point, I would actually hope that the family is paying for extra security, because if you recall, Kim Kardashian also had a very obsessed fan who tried to marry her. Back in July, Kim was granted a 5-year permanent order of protection against a man named Nicholas Costanza. The fan not only showed up to her home on multiple occasions, but he also sent Kim a package that contained Plan B and a diamond ring. Luckily, that package was intercepted by Kim's security team, because man, is that ever a weird and disturbing gift to open up. In her filing for the restraining order, Kim says that Costanza had shown up at her property a handful of times in 2021, as I mentioned earlier. This included once in February and then again in late May. He even tried to spring up at her gated community and tell the guards that he was there to pick her up for dinner. On top of being crazy in person, he was also crazy online. Kim says that Costanza had also been posting fake marriage certificates and other bizarre messages online, all of which alluded to her waiting for her knight in shining armor, which he later clarified was him. Now he has to stay at least 100 yards away from her and refrain from any contact whatsoever. Going back to Kylie Jenner though for a moment, she has still yet to post on her main Instagram page following the tragedy that took place at Travis Scott's Astroworld. However, her Kylie Cosmetics page is attempting to get back into their promotion routine, but the comment section is just not having it. I mean, she has people telling her to stop posting, people saying that they've thrown away their lip kits, and others calling to boycott both Travis and Kylie altogether. Kylie Jenner is still yet to post on her main Instagram page, but Kylie Cosmetics is back to its regular advertising schedule and fans are not happy about it. In the top comments, people are saying things like "just no" and "y'all are def deleting comments," with another adding #cancel Kylie Jenner. Although more than just getting back to her posting, Kylie has also started construction on a plot of land that she purchased in May of 2020 for $15 million in cash. The 5-acre vacant lot had remained empty for more than a year because of the pandemic, but photos obtained by the press show that there are now signs of construction starting on the area. So yes, while Travis Scott is in the middle of massive billion-dollar lawsuits, Kylie is back in the Hidden Hills constructing a new home for herself. An aerial photo shows that the slope of the land has now been stabilized with a fence and pillars, plus construction vehicles were parked along the side to prepare for the work ahead in the coming weeks. According to reports, Kylie grabbed the plot of land in an off-market deal, and as per an online brochure, it was advertised as being shovel-ready, which means that the owner could essentially start building their dream home on the land almost immediately. The sale of the land also apparently included plans for an 18,000 square foot home, along with a 12-car garage, guest house, barn, a guard shack for a full-time security detail, pool, and sports court, all tucked away behind private gates. The brochure went on to advertise the land and says in the description, "The property also features its own private driveway to the large upper building pad that offers excellent privacy from the neighbors and the street below. With its great size, excellent views, approved building plans, and prime central Hidden Hills location, this truly unique property has it all." And for a while, the land was actually owned by Miley Cyrus, who purchased it in 2015. Although instead of building a home on the land, she just used it to keep her horses in stables. This would be Kylie's 4th home in Los Angeles, which is absolutely insane. She has 3 others right now in LA, including a monster mansion which she dropped $36.5 million on in 2020 as well. Plus there is a smaller $12 million home in the Hidden Hills, and now she co-owns a $13 million investment property in Beverly Hills with Travis Scott. Although all of these land purchases seem to be more for convenience than anything else, this new vacant lot sits really close to Kris Jenner and Khloe Kardashian's new mega homes. And according to the LA Times, she also dropped $3.25 million a few years back on a piece of land near Palm Springs where her family vacation home is. According to an insider that knew about the construction going on at Kris and Khloe's new mansions, they told The Sun, although Khloe and Kris's homes are almost done, they're both acting like housezillas. They want temperature adjusted rooms and a panic room in case of security issues. They then go on to say, they will have security teams on both property 24/7 to oversee both houses. One would think after dropping that much money on a beautiful house that is meant for a family of 10, Khloe would be satisfied with the results, but she keeps asking for changes. And that security detail is also something that Kylie could be wanting to take advantage of as well, and so she's strategically building a new home nearby. As far as we know, Travis Scott is back in California as well after he was spotted out playing golf with some celebrities, including Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble. As of right now, Travis Scott's offer to pay for the funeral expenses of the victims has been rejected by more than half of the families. Many of them are rejecting the offer and continuing to pursue their lawsuits as a better way of getting the justice and answers that they deserve. Kylie Jenner is back in the news, and it's because her fans are furious over how fast she has moved on from what happened at Astroworld. Kylie has yet to make an actual Instagram post, but her stories have been quite active as of late. Travis Scott, if you recall, was spotted near Kris Jenner's home playing golf with Mark Wahlberg, Michael Jordan, and Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble. Although amid the massive lawsuits he's facing, he did not look very present. At least that's what we gathered from looking at the photos that were posted. I mean, currently he has been hit with over 300 lawsuits, so yeah, that might distract anyone from having a good time. These lawsuits also include the ones that are seeking $750 million in damages, as well as the one that's for $2 billion. However, included in a lot of those are also Drake, Live Nation, and Apple. What is angering Kylie Jenner fans, though, is that she recently posted a short Instagram video showing off her new Christmas tree. And reportedly the tree is decked out with decorations worth over $1,000. The issue people are having is that the father of her children could be on the hook to pay billions of dollars in damages to the victims of his Astroworld festival. In the short video, Kylie also featured a 3-tier electronic wood Christmas story pyramid that was handcrafted by a family-run company called Muller. This wooden Christmas pyramid also has roots in German folklore. Just a fun little side fact for you. But Travis apparently flew to Southern California to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with his family, including Kylie Jenner. But since he was not spotted in this Instagram story, many are wondering if he left right after Thanksgiving to perhaps go back to Houston and deal with the many lawsuits ahead. Shortly after the incident, Travis Scott and Kylie released statements, but instead of them being viewed as apologizing for their actions, their statements were interpreted as being just insensitive. Scott tried to make amends with his angered fans and the city of Houston, really, by saying that he would cover the funeral expenses, but everyone in Travis Scott's inner circle right now is definitely feeling the heat. Before this Christmas tree Instagram story, Kylie previously posted to her stories to wish Hailey Bieber a happy birthday. That IG story was her first real moment of breaking her silence after the statement that she released that I mentioned earlier. A source also went on to tell The Sun that after the catastrophe in Houston on November 5th, Kylie decided to delay the launch of her holiday makeup line, a launch that has been dropped on November 19th for the last 4 years. Travis Scott's attorney, Edwin F. McPherson, also has been going to bat for Travis and said that there has been way too much finger pointing when it comes to this lawsuit. McPherson even took a shot at the Houston police chief for contradicting what he said. Scott's attorney tells the press, "There's been multiple finger pointing, much of which has been by city officials who have sent inconsistent messages and have backtracked from original statements." Houston Police Chief Troy Finner was quoted in the New York Times as saying, "You cannot just close when you got 50,000 and over 50,000 individuals. We have to worry about riots when you have a group that's that young." Yet just a short time later, Chief Finner states the responsibility to stop the show falls on Travis. Despite what Travis Scott's attorney said earlier, though, as with many lawsuits, these put the blame on Travis and the festival organizers, especially for failing to take even the most basic of safety precautions. In one lawsuit it says, "Defendants egregiously failed in their duty to protect the health, safety, and lives of those in attendance at the concert, including but not limited to the failure to provide adequate security personnel to implement crowd control measures, proper barricades, and the failure to provide a sufficient amount of emergency medical support." So far, there has also been no post made to the Instagram pages of Kylie's various companies, and following the tragedy, her only statement was an Instagram post where she said, "Travis and I are broken and devastated. My thoughts and prayers are with all who lost their lives, were injured, or affected in any way by yesterday's events. and also for Travis, who I know cares deeply for his fans and the Houston community. I want to make it clear we weren't aware of any fatalities until the news came out after the show, and in no world would have continued filming or performing. I am sending my deepest condolences to all the families during this difficult time, and will be praying for the healing of everyone who has been impacted.
And at number 10, Blackface. Accusations of cultural appropriation of the black community has surrounded the Kardashian family for years, and Kylie was at the center of that debate when she posted a photo in April 2015 where people think she was blackfishing, which is when a white person changes their race to appear black or mixed race. The photo is heavily edited, but in it her skin is incredibly dark. Tons of comments called Kylie out for the photo, claiming this was a form of blackface. Kylie posted a follow-up photo addressing the controversy, saying the photo looked darker because of the lighting, not because of dark makeup. She wrote, quote, "This is a black light and neon lights. People, let's all calm down." And at number 9, the hashtag Kylie Jenner challenge. Back in 2015, after Kylie got her lip filler, Kylie Jenner challenge was going viral online. Since fans wanted to get bigger lips like Kylie, they started sucking on shot glasses and other small objects to inflame their lips and make them look huge like Kylie's. Thankfully, I never actually did this one. I'm surprised I didn't try it, but I don't think I ever actually did it. The challenge caused some hilarious results, but also some serious injuries. Many people were bruised for days following the challenge, but others had more severe problems like popping blood vessels in their lips that required hospitalization. Kylie condemned the challenge, tweeting, quote, "I'm not here to try and encourage people/young girls to look like me or think this is the way they should look. I want to encourage people and young girls like me to be yourself and not be afraid to experiment with your look." But people still faulted Kylie for the injuries. In at number 8, cornrows. It seems that Kylie didn't learn her lesson with the blackfishing scandal, and the backlash against her got much worse in July of 2015 when she posted a photo wearing cornrows on Instagram. Many fans in the comments called her out for wearing the style. Hunger Games actress Amanda Stenberg shared her disappointment in the comments. Quote, "When you appropriate black features and culture but fail to use your position of power to help black Americans by directing attention towards your wigs instead of police brutality or racism." Kylie responded, writing, quote, "Mad if I don't, mad if I do. Go hang with Jaden or something." Justin Bieber actually came to Kylie's defense here, but it created a huge scandal that got Kylie and the family a lot of heat. Detractors accused Kylie of appropriating black features and not recognizing the history associated with the hairstyle. And at number 7, vintage t-shirts. This scandal happened in 2017 when Kendall and Kylie launched a line of rap versus rock fashion tees as part of their Kendall and Kylie collection. The distressed faded shirts featured superimposed images of the sisters' faces over famous musicians like Tupac, The Doors, Biggie Smalls, and Ozzy Osbourne. Fans immediately called the shirts disrespectful, especially since the sisters were using images of deceased artists. Two of the more talked about t-shirts featured the faces of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. Even Biggie's mom got involved, calling the concept, quote, "disgusting" and disrespectful. His estate also sent a cease and desist letter. Photographer Michael Miller, who took the image of Tupac that appeared on one of the shirts, later sued Kendall and Kylie, accusing them of using the image without his permission. The sisters removed the shirts days after the release and apologized for offending fans of the artists. And at number 6, plastic surgery denial. At this point, it's pretty obvious that Kylie has changed her looks through cosmetic enhancements, but she won't own up to anything other than her incredibly obvious lip filler. In 2015, after a shocking change in her appearance, it was speculated that she received lip fillers. But for months after, she denied the rumors and said that her full lips were a result of a lip liner. But after she could no longer deny it, she fessed up to the fillers in an interview. She told ABC News, quote, "It's just an insecurity of mine and that's what I wanted to do." She admitted the insecurity stemmed from a boy telling her lips were too small to kiss. Khloe said in an episode of the show about Kylie's lips, quote, "Kylie decided to plump her lips and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you've done something though, it's right to cop up to it." It's been speculated that Kylie's had a number of other procedures done, but she hasn't admitted to anything else. Halfway number 5 lied about being a billionaire. Kylie Jenner became a household name after she was labeled the world's youngest self-made billionaire in 2019, beating up Mark Zuckerberg. This label was given by Forbes, who had looked over her finances and determined she was a billionaire. But less than a year after the company gave her the insane title, they actually walked it back and claimed the Kardashians duped Forbes into giving her the label when she wasn't actually a billionaire at the time. Forbes said Kylie had been, quote, "inflating the size and success of her business for years." Apparently it was exposed when Cody bought a portion of Kylie's company, and all the business documents were made public, and the official one showed a lower net worth for the brand. In reality, it said that Jenner's net worth at the time was likely, quote, "just under $900 million, but it has since fallen to around $700 million. And at number 4, fake face wash. While Kylie was first promoting Kylie's skin, she got a ton of heat for a super cringy video of her washing her face. Firstly, she used a filter while washing, which doesn't let us see how the product actually works. Then she only used the face wash for about 5 seconds maximum before scrubbing off her makeup with a towel. Worst of all, we get a quick glimpse of the towel after, and it's covered in foundation. So clearly it didn't even work to take the makeup off. One comment on the post read, quote, "She washed her face for literally seconds and her foundation was all over the towel. If I did that, my acne would be poppin'." And at number 3, Kylie Minogue. Before Kylie Jenner, Kylie Minogue was the most famous Kylie. The Australian pop star shaded Kylie Jenner when Kylie tried to trademark their first name. According to the US Patent and Trademark Office, in 2015 Jenner tried to register Kylie in the US for advertising services and endorsement services, but Kylie Minogue's team filed their own charges to ensure the trademark did not go through. Minogue claimed it would damage her own reputation. In the legal documents, Minogue's team classified Jenner as a, quote, "secondary reality television personality," known for her, quote, "photographic exhibitionism and controversial posts on social media." Then Kylie Minogue tweeted, quote, "Hello, my name is Kylie, #lightyears," insinuating she was here way before Jenner. And at number 2, betrayed Kanye. When Kanye was first launching his Yeezy brand with Adidas, he used Kylie in his fashion show to promote the shoes, along with the rest of the Kardashian clan. But then Puma snagged Kylie for their new shoe line, which was a conflict of interest because Puma is a rival to Adidas. In an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim said, quote, "Kanye had Kylie walk in his first 2 Adidas shows. He really believed in her as part of his brand. I feel like this was a conflict of interest." Kylie ended up going forward with the Puma deal and apparently made a cool 7 figures, but she lost the trust and respect of Kanye. Before Kylie officially signed the deal, Kanye made a fool of himself on Twitter, saying that there was no way that Kylie would take the deal and betray his family. Sure, he regretted that after. And finally, number 1, Lourdes Leon. Lourdes Leon, daughter of Madonna, dissed Kylie after Lourdes was invited to a party that she was throwing. Apparently, Lourdes shaded Kylie over her social media activity and selfie taking. After Lourdes received the invite, the source revealed, quote, "She couldn't believe Kylie thought that she'd be receptive to a party invite and has completely ignored her. As far as Lourdes is concerned, she's not going to lower herself to even responding," adding that Lourdes is very picky about who she spends time with and Kylie doesn't make the cut. The source added that her friends are, quote, "much more interested in changing the world than in taking selfies." This was a few years ago, so I wonder if her opinions have changed, but it's very embarrassing to say the least.